Om. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। Okay, Hari Om everybody. So we are on chapter 11 and we were going to be starting with verse 32. So let's begin. Because this has been, Bhagwan is now speaking because Arjun he saw the Ugra Rupa, the most terrible form. He's very, very scared. And now he's like, who are you? Because he has only known Krishna in the human form as a friend. He joked with him, he insulted him, as a friend. And now all of a sudden he has seen these three different forms of Bhagwan. And so now he's wondering. And now Bhagwan will explain who he actually is. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha कालोऽस्मि लोकक्षयकृत् प्रवृद्धो लोकान् हर्तुमीह प्रवृत्तः ऋतेऽपि त्वां न भविष्यन्ति सर्वे येव स्थिता प्रत्यनीकेषु योधाः I am the mighty world-destroying time, now engaged in destroying the world. Even without you, none of the warriors arrayed in hostile armies shall live. The last part, even without you, he says that because what did Arjun say in chapter 1? I am the one that will kill them and I will do this and I will do that. So Bhagavan is telling him, with or without you, things are going to happen. And what is the takeaway for us? When we say, I did it, remember that it is only because of God's grace. If you could do it, it was because of His grace. If you could not do it, He didn't will it for your greater good. So that is the point over there, even without you, that they're the same. But what he's saying is, aham kalosmi, so kalaha, time. So the question here arises, what exactly is time? That is what the question, that the main key word here is time. Time actually is only a concept of our mind. There is nothing real. It is not really real. And we just saw that BC now, daylight savings time, they said, we don't want this. It was really real. That is one thing, they couldn't have changed it. Now they've done away with it. So let's see what time is. The reason we say it is a concept of the mind, that is the reason that when we are in deep sleep, we don't know how much time has passed. So point is that only when the mind is awake, time is recorded. So if the mind is folded, there is no time. The best example is, the snooze button. For spiritual seekers, actually what they say is never hit the snooze button. The alarm happens, then you hit the snooze button and you think only 5 minutes, right? And you think, only 5 minutes have gone up. You open your eyes, it's like 2 hours. Has anybody experienced this? Or sometimes you think, oh my God, my God, I'm late. And only 2 minutes have gone by, Both things happen, right? So spiritual seekers are not allowed to hit the snooze button. And the alarm goes. Anyway, idea is, because it is available to us, or it is known to us when the mind is awake, time becomes a concept of the mind, and time then becomes unreal. It is not really real. Okay, so how have physics, how have they calculated time? The earth is going around the sun, so 365 days, so 1 year. It takes a year for the earth to go around the sun, that is 1 year. And then the earth is rotating on its own axis in 24 hours. So that is the 24 hours. And then those 24 hours, each hour has been divided into 60 minutes and each minute into 60 seconds. Then also we have the moon going around the earth. Excuse me. So we have that Krishna Paksha and Churu, means new moon and full moon. Now we are coming up to full moon. Today is the 11th day of the lunar month. So in another 4-5 days, there'll be Purnima. So there'll be the full moon, and then it'll start waning, and then again there'll be this. So that is what time is. Now, when he says Aham Kalosmi, he doesn't mean I'm 1 minute or 2 minute or one yuga or one kal. That is not what he means. What is time now? Time is a distance between 2 points, distance in the sense, or between 2 events or 2 places. So if you were to look at our own body, how do you know that time has gone by? Okay, so we look at our body and we look at our baby photos, and now we look at ourselves and it's, oh, time has passed. So you have looked at one thing and you're looking at some other thing, and now you know that time has passed. That is how time is recorded between 2 thoughts, between 2 events. Yesterday, this thing happened, and today. So now between yesterday and today, time has passed. So that is how time is recorded. So when he says Aham Kala Asmi, I am timer, what he actually means is that it is because of me that alone that time can be recorded. Because if I, as a conscious principle, is not there to witness both those events, or okay, today I'm in Vancouver, tomorrow I'll be in Calgary. So time has passed because I moved from Vancouver to Calgary, but I was there in Vancouver and I am there in Calgary. And that is what is telling me that time has passed. So basically, recording of time is done by a conscious principle. And when he says, I am time, he means I am that conscious principle because of which time can be recorded. Time can be recorded. That is what he means. I am behind that time. I am transcending time. He's beyond time. That's why he's beginningless and endless. Whatever begins in time has to have an end. It will end. There is no, even form of Bhagavan Krishna, form of Rama came at one time, then at one time the form ended. But I, as the existence principle, as a conscious principle, because of which time is even recorded, that is what I am. That is what he means here by Kala Asmi, Aham Kala Asmi. Loka Kshaya Krit Pravruddha. I am the destroyer. I am the one that is destroying everybody too. Means I am the one and only because of which all these things are happening. Time is being recorded, and now it will be recorded that, okay, now this thing happened. It'll be recorded that Arjun killed everybody. That's why he says, even without you, they're all dead anyways. And he because he's beyond time, he has shown Arjun the past, present, and future. He's now it is going to come more. What is the end of the war? It is future. Nobody knew. Even he himself said, you also could die in the war. Who knows? How do you know what is going to come in the future? But now he's going to show him that. He's going to show him that. So this is what he means. Now engaged in destroying the world. So the purpose, the final, in Bhagavad we have seen, because every avatar has a purpose. And in chapter 4, he gave that purpose. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So whenever there is a decline in dharma, I come to restore dharma. If you see Bhagavan Krishna's life, as compared to Lord Rama, until he went into forest, not much was there. He lived a very happy life. He was born in a palace. He was king. He was going to be king. After he went into exile, then he protected all the rishis there from the demons. And then the final Leela was Ravana. That was the final thing. That was the purpose of his avatar. He came for Ravana. So for Krishna, he came to give this knowledge. That was his final purpose. Because when you look at his life, right from birth only activity started for him. So he was in the jail. He was born in the jail. He didn't have to, but anyway, he decided. So then he had to break all the things. Then he had to, go somewhere. And then everybody was trying to, right from Putana onwards, they started trying to kill him as a baby. And so that was uh, two purposes. One was to destroy the evil there as a child, and also to destroy the ego of the devatas. So we see those stories of Govardhan Parvat lifting Indra's this thing. Then Brahmaji who got egoistic. So he took away all the gopas and the gopis. And then Bhagwan only became all those little children. So there were those two purposes: ego of the devatas to be destroyed, and the demons, of course, to be destroyed. So that is what he did. And then further on, because this was his final purpose, when in the war, destroying the Kauravas was the final destruction of evil. We see many Shishupal he destroyed, cows he destroyed, like on the way he destroyed Jarasandh, everybody. But then this was the final evil, sort of. So he says, the mighty world destroying time. See, in chapter 10 also, he said, among that what Chala, he is the game of dice, he said. He was the game of dice. Why? Because if that game had not happened, and if Shakuni had not done all those crooked things, this war would not have happened. And this war was essential. For Bhagwan's birth, avatar, it was essential because only in this war he could destroy everybody. He could destroy. That's why he's saying, I'm the mighty world destroying time, now engaged into now. This is my final Leela now. Destruction of the Kauravas, because so much adharma was going on. Destruction. This is my final this thing. And that's for, with or without you, this is going to happen. With or without you. Because that is why I've come. I've taken avatar for this only. So, and then he had to have Arjun deluded. See, if Arjun had understood everything and started the war, then who will give the knowledge to? Another bondage that Bhagwan has, not that he has any bondage, but what he's bound by is the thing that unless I'm asked, I won't tell. We tell even when we are not asked. That is the difference. धड़ाधड़ advice दिए जा रहे हैं. Even I do it. I'm not blaming anybody else. But that is one thing that you have to learn from Bhagavad Gita. Unless you're specifically asked, unless you're an expert, otherwise you say, no, Baba, I don't know this, whatever this is. So he had to have Arjun ask him. Arjun wasn't asked. So many years they lived together, but Arjun never asked him anything. So he had to create that situation. Therefore, he took the chariot in front of Bhishma and Drona. If he had taken the chariot in front of Duryodhana, nothing would have happened. Arjun would have started fighting and everything. But so this is what is telling us, that he has got everything under his control. It appears like, oh, Arjun asked him to take the thing. So, oh, Arjun did. That is what we think. I did, and I did, and I did. But no, he has a plan. So this is what he says. So he says, whoever warriors are standing there now, because now this is my final destruction of evil. Before I leave this earth, this is what I have to do. And I am that mighty. That's why Kala, Kala, another name for Lord Yama is Kala, no? He said, time has come. Or we say, oh, his time had not come, therefore he didn't die. Even people get so sick and they come out of it. That's why we say Kala didn't come or Kala came. So that is what is meant here. Now, so 32, 33, and 34, in my father's writing, as you all know, these books they belong to my dad. It says by heart and important, imp. That's how he'll write it. It's his writing. So you can see his imp writing that in red here. There's imp, which means important, and by heart means memorize these verses. Okay? And the purpose for memorizing these verses is to know that we really do not do anything. That is our ego which is telling us all that. So that is why these verses become very, very important. Next, now what he says is, he said, without you also, they are dead. Now what he says is, Tasmat तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समृद्धम् मय्येवेते निहता पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन्. We read together. द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतास्त्वं जहिमां व्यतिष्ठा युद्धस्य जेतासि रणे सपत्नान्. Therefore, tasmat, therefore, I have already killed them. Therefore, stand up and obtain fame. Conquer the enemies and enjoy the flourishing kingdom. Verily, by myself they have been already slain. Be you a mere instrument, O left-handed bowman. Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and other brave warriors, these have been already slain by me. You do kill. Be not distressed with fear. Fight, and you shall conquer your enemies in battle. So therefore, uh, a sentence cannot start with therefore. There has to be something before. It is raining, therefore I took the umbrella. So therefore, so it tells you there's a connection between 32 and 33. It says, I have already slain them. I have already killed, even without you, they're dead. Therefore, he says, you get up and yashola basva. So he's telling him, you are going to be successful because they're already dead. I have killed them, but you did. And that is the point of, we always are an instrument of the Lord. Always. Whether we do good or whether we do bad also, it is because of his presence with us. That's why he said, Aham kalasmi. I am that which is recording time. So, I said, at that time I did this. Now I will do that. Now I will do this. So it's because of me that time is being recorded. It's because of me that things are happening. It is because of me alone. My presence in you enables you to do things. And that has to be recognized and kept in mind at all times, no matter what we do. Jitva Shantrun Bhukshva Raja Samridham. Now you win over these enemies and you will enjoy the kingdom. Earlier, in chapter 2, he had said, if you win here, you will get the kingdom of earth. If you die, if they kill you, because that's possible too, then the kingdom of heaven is waiting for you. That's what he had said in chapter 2. Now he's saying, you enjoy this kingdom. This kingdom. Now he's giving him the actual reason. That time he had not said in chapter 2. So, verily, maye vete, maye, by me they have been killed, and purvameva, they are already dead. Actually, they're already dead. They appear alive. They're already dead. Nimitta is just a cause. Nimitta is cause, reason. So you just be the reason for people to say, oh, see, that's why we say, oh, such and such disease killed me, that and that, accident, he died in the accident, he died because of cancer, he died because of this and that. That is all nimitta matra. Date of death is planned, is destined, predestined. Then Bhagwan doesn't want to take blame. So Bhagwan says, oh, cancer killed. Bhagwan doesn't say, people, oh, he was in an act, that's, the plane, now 2 pilots died recently, right, at Toronto, LaGuardia. So they say, oh, because of that, air controllers, but the death had come. That's what we as spiritual seekers should understand. Okay, that is the point. Savyasachin is a name for Arjun because he was heterodextrous. Heterodextrous means you are proficient with doing things with the right hand, but you're equally proficient doing things with the left hand. Normally, we find that if a person who is right-handed, it's very difficult for that person to write or do things with the left hand. Or the person is left-handed sometimes, then it becomes difficult. It's difficult to do with the right hands. But it is said that he could hold the bow either in the left. Usually it's, if a right-handed person, then the bow will be held in the left hand. But he could also hold the bow in the right hand and shoot arrows with equal proficiency, equal efficiency. The Savyasachin, this is not just left-handed bowman. He was both right-handed and left-handed. Very rare. I've seen actually on WhatsApp or somewhere, person writing with the right hand and equally writing fast with the left hand. But generally it doesn't happen. We can do it, but it'll take a whole lot of time if you're trying to, you know, and usually then your right hand, most of us are right-handed, so right hand comes first. So Savyasachin, that is what it means, that he could do it. He was a very brave warrior, I told you, that very valorous. I mean, Arjun, right in the beginning, we talked about him. Dronam cha Bhishmam cha Jayadratham cha. So Dronacharya, I have killed them means it is because of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. See, Drona was Arjun's guru, right? It's not, he is the one that taught Arjun all the tricks, whatever the tricks of the trade were in those days. Now to overcome him, so Bhagwan is the one that, does everybody know the story of Ashwatthama Hataha? All okay with that? Okay. So Bhagwan is the one that knew that he was very much attached to Ashwatthama, and Bhima, he told Bhima, go kill an elephant called Ashwatthama, and he spread the word Ashwatthama Hataha. Ashwatthama is dead. Ashwatthama is dead, which was true, but Dronacharya thought that, is it my son? He was he was so attached to Ashwatthama that actually Ashwatthama and Arjun were studying under him at the same time. So apparently what he would do is he would send Arjun in the middle to say, oh, I'm thirsty, get me a glass of water. And when Arjun would go, he would actually tell Ashwatthama something extra. That much he was attached to his own son. He was very attached to his. And his name was Ashwatthama because when he was born, he neighed like a horse. Ashwa is horse. Therefore, his name became, and he was very attacked. So Arjun also figured it out that this is what he's doing. So he would run and he would bring the water right away because he said, I'll miss what he's telling him. This is how much he was attached. That's why when he heard, he lost all this thing. But yet he said, Yudhishthir is the one that will tell me the truth. So he goes to Yudhishthir, and Bhagwan Krishna is standing right outside the tent. So Yudhishthir can't speak the lies. But Yudhishthir also is not. He says, Ashwatthamo hataha narova kunjarova, he says. So I don't know whether it is Nara or elephant. But that second part of this line, Arjun, Bhagwan Krishna makes a lot of noise, like all the, drums and everything. So he doesn't hear. Dronacharya does. He just hears Ashwatthama hataha. So if Yudhishthira has said it, that means it's true. And he lays down his weapon. So that is how Krishna becomes this thing. Bhishma also, he put Shikhandi in front. He was the only one that knew that Bhishma will not fight with a woman, and that Shikhandi was a eunuch. And he was, in his previous lives, he was a girl who had asked for Bhishma's death, and Bhishma had said Tathastu. She says she wanted to marry him, but that's a big story anyway. And then when Bhishma says, no, I can't marry you, but you can ask for any other thing. She says, I want your death. He says, Tathastu. You can have my death, but I cannot marry you. Bhishma was a man of his word. So he knew his death had come. So when Shikhandi came in front of him, he knew this is that woman whom I have only blessed with my death. Means now my time has come. So that's how he overcome Bhishma. And Jayadrath had a boon. Not a boon, he didn't have a boon, but his father he was a great tapasvi, Jayadrath's father. He said that whoever becomes responsible for Jayadrath's head falling on the ground, himself will get destroyed. That was the boon. Or a curse. It was a boon for Jayadrath and it was a curse for the person who would have killed him. Now only Bhagwan knew this. How would anybody else know all this, right? Bhagwan knows everything because he knows past, present, and future. So what he tells Arjuna is, you have to not only cut his head off, but you have to do it such that his head goes and falls in the lap of his dad, who is doing tapasya. Imagine, how they must have done it, I don't know. But that is what he does. So Arjun chops off his head with the arrow, and that head goes and lands in the lap of Jayadrath's father, who was he was in, meditation. So suddenly when something came and landed on his lap, he didn't know what it was. So he gets disturbed and he stands up, and that head falls on the ground. And so ultimately he becomes responsible for that head to fall on the ground. Therefore Jayadrath and his father, both in one shot, Bhagavan takes care of them. both of them. Because he was a great tapasvi. If he finds out somebody killed, as it is, so that's how he takes care of this. That's why he says, and Karna. Karna actually, Bhagwan, before the war, Bhagwan went and talked to him and told him, you are the oldest of the Pandavas and you will become the king. Pandavas will win. I am on that side. So when they win, you will become the king. So you come on that side. And he says, no, I won't. But then he also had a curse because he had lied to get his teaching. So he was cursed that when the final moment, when when your knowledge is to be used, it will not be useful. So his, the wheel of the chariot gets stuck and he's trying to get it out. And at that time, it is also said that when Arjun was shooting arrows at him, he said, Arjun, this is not dharma because I am out of my chariot. You cannot fight when the charioteer is out of his chariot. Those were the rules. That time Bhagwan speaks up. He says, where was dharma when Draupadi was derobed? Now you're talking of dharma. Yes, correct. You're right. It is not dharma that Arjun should be shooting arrows at you when you are not inside your chariot, when you're doing something else. But you tell me, where was dharma at that time? Why did you not follow dharma, right? So why should we? Because Kali Yuga was coming. That's why therefore he's giving these names. Tatha Anyanapi Yodha. All of the others also, even Duryodhan at the very end, Duryodhan was the last of the Kauravas to remain alive. And he went and he immersed himself in the river and he was meditating there. And then he was called out. And when Bhima and him had a fight, that time also Bhagwan told him, you surrender now and we give you your life back. And you will get your kingdom. You give them their Indraprastha, you get your own kingdom. He refuses. So that time also Bhagwan Shri Krishna, everybody knows the story of Duryodhan. His mother, she was blind and she had Divya Drishti she got because she had not seen for so many years. So she tells him, you come completely naked in front of me. When I look at you, your body you'll become a man of steel. Of course, Bhagwan knows. So when Duryodhan at night is going there, Bhagwan stands in there. He says, Baba, you're a grown man. How you can go? Even if she is your mother. So this, because anyway, so he covers his waist and she says, this is Krishna's doing. When she opens her eyes, she realizes this is Krishna. That was she curses Krishna. So anyway, those are those stories. Anywho, so this is what he's saying. Maya hatatsvam jahi mam vyathishta. I have already slain them. So why are you getting distressed that I will kill, I will kill, I will kill? Don't. Okay, now this is not to be used for criminal activities. Bhagwan has already killed him. Why don't I go? That's not the point. But even things, when we do things in life, good things, we must remember that it is hey. So in the battle, you shall conquer your enemy. You shall. See, that's a definitive thing. Chapter 2, he had not said definitively you will. He said, who knows, you might die, they might die. Like that he had said. But now he says, no. So he shows him the future of the battle, of the war, final war. Now, Sanjaya Vacha. एतश्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमान किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूय एवाय कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीत प्रणम्य. Sanjay said, having heard that speech of Keshava, Krishna, the crowned one, Arjuna, with joined palms, trembling and prostrating himself, again addressed Krishna in a choked voice, bowing down and overwhelmed with fear. So Kiriti is another name for Arjun. Kiriti is one who is wearing a crown. So that's why Kiriti. And Etat Shrutva Vachanam. So now he heard, 32, 33, 34, Bhagwan Uvacha, he heard, Arjun heard, saw the end of the war, realized what Bhagwan was trying to tell him, and then he becomes with joined palms. Now he's completely surrendered, completely surrendering You want to come and say hi? Switch it off. It's my little grandchild, okay? So namaskritva bhuya evaya Krishna. Now he completely surrenders and sad emotional. He becomes very emotional now that he has understood. Bhita. So there's a commotion of emotions. He's very okay, go. So he's very emotional. He's very afraid. He's very what should I say, overwhelmed. Like there's a mixture of all these emotions and pranamya. So he's completely surrendered. Now the next portion, which is 36 to 46, these verses, these are a stuti. It's a praise by Arjuna of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, because I cannot complete this whole. This portion is important. So I'll tell you the importance of this portion, but we will continue afterwards. So one thing is, Gurudev, actually it is said that in Flint, he had asked the brahmacharis to chant this in front of the Krishna temple. It is said that if you're going for an exam, or if you're afraid of something, these verses, they should be chanted. They are prayers. It's Arjuna's stuti, but they are prayers of Bhagwan Shri Krishna, and they will help. If you're afraid of some outcome, you're going for some medical test, or anything that makes you fearful, if you chant these verses, if you by heart them, of course, but even if you don't by heart them, and if you read them, they're very, very important verses. These ones, 36 to 40. This is the important part here. One of the important parts. So I'm not going to continue today. I will continue on April 26th. But if there are any questions, or if anybody wants to say anything, we have some time. I'm going to close the class early today. Or you can, if you want to say whatever. Okay, so we'll stop here for today, and now there'll be a break because of my travels, and then Swami Ishwananji is here. I think everybody has received the form, those who are local, Vancouver, of registering for the Hanuman Puja. And there's no registration required if you want to just attend the Yajna. You just come. It is at the VHP in Burnaby. And I hope to see all your local people over there. I'll be there as well. Yes, Primsai.
Just to say as well, the registration form for those, there's an option to do the puja with Swamiji. So if you register for that level, we'll provide a kit. It's a really great opportunity to actually, have a Hanuman idol in front of you, do the offering alongside Swamiji, and then you get to take all of that home. So all of that information, if anybody has any questions or is interested in that, just reach out to me or respond to that email, and I can give you more details.
Yeah. Okay, so it's from 15th April to the 19th. 19th is the puja, 15 to 18 is the lectures, 7 to 8. That is our regular yajna, and the book also will be there on the table. There are the 5 verses from the Bhagavad Gita, which you can purchase right from there. Okay. Okay, guys, have a good month, and then I will see all of you on the 26th of April, and then we'll do that beautiful prayers, because there was no way that I could complete it, and so I thought I may as well leave the entire portion to be explained later. Okay? All right. ॐ स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ